Hi guys, good evening. So today we'll be learning a new tag, or more likely how to lay out your web page using HTML, of course using CSS script. Now for those who are already familiar, the CSS script, or what we also call as cascade styling sheet, is what we use to really or to maximize display or design in your HTML file. Now, we'll be learning how to use such CSS, including how to lay out a particular web page. Right? So today, we'll be using this folder, which is named after grade 8 websites. So inside the folder, you have 4 HTML files, including HTML layout, St. Catherine, St. Ignatius, and St. Mark, which has 3 pictures on it. This particular pictures contains, of course, your names and information. Not really information, but your names, your full names, which is seen on the official list of enrollees. So I'll just need to attach this on a particular website. For example, is St. Mark. I'll be opening this one. As you can see, I've used the HTML tag, the body, and center tag, which is an object tag, the image tag, which has a source of the name of the picture inside the folder, St. space Mark, and the file type, which is the PNG. I've also declared the height and the width, so that is truly maximized. So if I open this web page, as you can see, there it is. And so I'll be trying to duplicate this code for St. Ignatius and St. Catherine too. All you need to do is edit the notepad, copy of course the code, change the file name, this for St. Ignatius. Please do note that this is just an example, so you could use any other web page that you have, or you can get other pictures if you want to. This is for St. Catherine. Hopefully, after saving the file, here St. Catherine, St. Ignatius web page, correct, and also St. Mark. Just check it's all correct. Now let's proceed with the code on how to use the layouting using, of course, the CSS. Now, as you may notice on start of the video, there was a lecture. So HTML layout elements. This, of course, contains the header, the nav, the section, the article, aside, the footer, details, and summary. All of these things you could add on a CSS script and defining the layout. Okay. So let's just check the output of this particular web page, and I'll show you later on how to code this. This example text. This example, I think I've already shown a picture of the layout where it showed you this particular parts. Where would it land? So these are the layout. Okay, so let's start off by how to code this particular website. Okay, so let's proceed with the coding. Okay. So as you can see, I've started with the HTML, also the head. After the title, most likely you type in the closing head, and afterwards type in the body, right? Now, in using CSS, you don't need to close the head sorry, that came out wrong. So you may close the head tag after you have declared all the CSS code. So example, I have my opening head here. I have my closing head here. Inside that, aside from title, I have declared the style, which is the CSS. Okay. So here I will type asterisk sizing border dash box. Now this particular attribute pertains to how the layout would show on the browser. So for example, if I didn't type this inside the style, most likely it would ruin my HTML. As you can see, it ruined the output. So please do not forget to type it. Okay, now for the header part, which means this one. This is my header. As you can see, I have declared header with the open bracket. The background color could have the value of either text or hexadecimal. So you may still use hexadecimal in this particular part. Example 00FF00. You could also use text. There. Now for the padding, as you may notice, I've already told you how the padding works, including in the table. So the padding is from this particular border going to your text, from top, from left to right, the bottom part, that is the padding. Okay, so I just added text align, the center. You could also change it to right align, or you could also change it to left align. That totally depends on you. Okay, for now, let's change the font size. Instead of using 35, let's just use maybe 99. There you go. Now 99 maybe it's too much. I'll just use 15 pixel. Now notice that we are only editing the CSS here. This is all CSS. Now in CSS, you don't need to type in the text that you want inside. You just need to declare what it should look like. So we're all changing the attribute on the CSS that's inside the style, right? So on the next part, I would type in the nav and the nav UL. So this is just another style. Okay. So float left, this is the nav. Actually, this is the nav part, or literally you would have the nav part here. But since I've declared the width to be 30% and the floating style on the left, the nav is shown right here. So you will also change the float to right side. That means right side. This, you could also change it back to left side. There you go. If you didn't type the float left, it would show normally top. See? Need to have that float left. On the next, you have the article, which is also on the left side. Normally, you could also change it into right, but there would not there wouldn't be any changes because you already have your left side here for the nav and another left for the article. So that would mean you're just stacking all over. Just like before, you could add padding attribute, width attribute, the background color. Again, you could use text or hexadecimal. There you go. So once again, You may use any web page or layout in this particular exercise. Okay. So we need to add this section just to make sure that there wouldn't be any space in between the nav and the article and the footer. Now, once you're done with all the styles, you just need to close it and then close the head. Now, inside the body, as you may know, we include all our text inside the body. There's no text inside the head, just the title and the CSS. So here is my sample text. I could delete this because it would just show this one to you, so I've deleted it. So first, I would call on the header, which would have this style. Take note, we have declared the header under the CSS on top, inside the head, right? So it would show you, it would use the setting of header to display the graded section. That's why when I change the setting here on the header part, so I changed the background color of the header to black, and all that particular attribute would be called here. So whatever is inside the header, it would call on that particular setting. See? And then for the section, we see the nav, and I've used unordered list, if you can still remember, guys. So this is the unordered list, the UL. The LI is for the dots, and then inside the href, this particular tag is for tagging in HTML. So as you can see, there is links here. If I try to click on that, it wouldn't show me any website because the code doesn't have any href or hyperreference. No. So all I need to do is click on a particular website which I want to be linked. Example, Saint Catherine. I just need to type it here, Saint Catherine. Make sure that all the files are inside the same folder as mine, so in my example, so you wouldn't have any problem in linking. saintmark.html. So I've already linked these 3 web pages: Saint Catherine.html, Saint Ignatius.html, and saintmark.html. So let's try on clicking on the website now. Don't forget to refresh, right? There, Saint Mark. So all the link now is working because once again, all those web page is on the same folder. They're all compiled in the same folder, and I've already typed in our source code the file name, including the file type, which is HTML. So please do remember, when using a href or hyperlink, hyperreference, make sure you have the name correct, the file name correct of the web page, including the file type, which is of course .html. Under article, so again, we are calling the setting on top of the article. Here it is. So float left, padding, blah blah blah, etc. And then I type here this text. If you want to add more, you could. So it would show here because this is the article section. See? And for the last is the footer. Just need to type in the footer. you can change whatever you like or whatever text you like. You can also put the image here just for fun. So once again, this HTML layout grade.html is still located in the same folder as my pictures. So I'll try to use same mark at the end. So if you try to reopen, there you go. There's the picture, which is of course included in the footer. Okay, so now I will try to create another HTML file that of course doesn't have any text on it yet, as already settings. Please do not forget that when you're using CSS, you need to call, of course, the function, or you need to call the layout and then type in the settings or the appearance that you want for that particular template. So here, I've decided to use header, including the navigation, the section, the article, aside, and also the footer. And as you may remember, these are the following parts, and this what it should look like if I don't mess up with the code. Alright, so first of all, let's check the header. Here's the header. Check. I want my header to be maybe orange color. I want the padding size to be 10. The text align would be center text. I would like a font size of 20 with the color or font color black. Okay, now I'm done with this one. Let's just try to remove this code. I will return it later. Now, I would also remove this because I'm calling the nav under the header. So let's just remove this. This is just only for demonstration. I would like the background color for the navigation to be maybe red with this padding of 25. Next, just delete this. The next one would be section before article. Let's type section here. So section, and then I would like to have the background color maybe yellow. With the padding of 20. Yeah, it's pixel. That birthday is pixel. Next, once I'm done with this section, I think it's time for the article. So inside the article, delete the float. The padding should be 25 again. Delete the width. Background color should be pink. Okay, no problem with that. Let's delete the height. Let's just also delete this. And maybe the last part is still don't have a side, right? Then, oh, sorry. So there's still no aside. Just need to type this here. Let's just copy paste this at the following attributes. Let's also put color red on the text. The text align should be right. padding should be 12, and the background color would be white. So I didn't declare any value for the background color. I could also delete this because it would be redundant to be on the code. So styling the footer, let's just have a black color with the white text. The next line should be left. Okay, now I'm done with almost all of the part. Footer, aside, article section, nav, and the header. Now it's time for me, inside the body, of course. Inside the body is to add the text that I want to be inside the header. So in my example, text 1 with heading 1. Inside the navigation, let's try to have a link, a graph. Let's just put the pound sign so that it wouldn't open any HTML file. Let's just have link example 1. Okay. Let's type it, another example. Under the section, let's just type maybe paragraph text example po ito. Inside the article, let's type something, article ito tungkol sa puso mo. And for the aside should be here. Pa lang ko to. And for the footer, created by Sir Jan. Okay, I think the code is already created. Let's just type, or let's just save this example HTML so we can check the output if I've already correctly typed this example. Okay, let's check if all those layout would be as the same as this one. Oh, you see. So here's our header. Let's check out the code. Here's the nav. There's the link 1, link 2. The section, the article, yes, is correct.